This is Spreadsheet Homeroom, short tutorials to turn your spreadsheeting into a superpower. When you want to look up a student, it's probably easier to search by their name, not their ID number. In this episode, we will update the call slip video to have searchable drop-down menus with the students' names and ID numbers for more easily inputting students. In the previous video about call slips using the vlookup function, we pasted students' ID numbers and then program the sheet to look up their names in this column, and then the call slips down here. Now we'd like to reverse that. We'd like to be able to identify the students first, and then have the sheet look up the students' ID numbers, and then likewise generate the call slips. For that to happen, we are going to create a drop-down in this green column here. From that drop-down, we will then look up the student's ID number. In the schedule by period sheet, on the far right side, I now have a separate column for ID number, name, and then the hybrid field of their last name, first name, and student ID number. Column AK will be our drop-down menu. To create the drop-down, click on this cell P1, insert, drop-down. We want to create a drop-down from a range, however, and then click this select data range, and we'll click over to schedule by period and column AK. So now on this sheet, we have our dropdown where you click on this arrow and we see all of those students' names and ID numbers. The nice part about this is we can now start typing in the student's name and it will filter any student who matches what you type. So there we have Helena Baud. Nice. We now want to get the ID number. What is Helena's ID number? We see here from this hybrid field, it's 10300000. We would like that number to appear in this cell N1. To do that, we'll type xlookup. If this is new to you, then watch my previous video on the xlookup function. We want to look up the value in P1. We are now looking up in the lookup range, which is schedule by period, column AK, comma. The result range, we want the ID number. So it's going to look up that student here. There's Helena. We want to return just the ID number that's in column AI, comma. And then if there's a missing value, we'll just put an empty cell, quote, quote. Press enter. There's the ID number. And then scrolling down, there's Helena Baud and Helena's schedule. Excellent. We are now ready to take this formula here and fill all the way down for up to 40 students for this application. So now anytime a student is selected here, we can search for, instead of Baud, we can search for Omand. Now Constant C Omand's ID number shows up here, and Constant C's call slip shows up here. Excellent. One last little fix here because Helena shows up from filling. So let's change this to select name just as the default and fill that down. So just by default, it says select name. For more content like this to supercharge your spreadsheeting, visit spreadsheetsforschools.com. And the next time you're working with data, remember, this looks like a job for super spreadsheets.